Hello. Hello, everyone. I am so excited. Hello. How are you doing? I'm so excited to be on with you tonight. Welcome, everyone who's tuning in live, and also to anyone who's watching or listening into the replay. Go ahead, as soon as you see me or hear me, type hello in the comments and give us a little information. Tell us where you're tuning in from. I'm just going to double check to make sure that we've got sound. That my sound is working. Say hello as soon as you see me. I'm so excited tonight. I'm not even kidding, guys. I have so much good stuff to share with you, and I know that you're going to be very excited about it too. Let me check this in my ear to make sure that we've got sound on my live. Here we are. Sound is working. Awesome. And I see comments rolling in. Fantastic. Wow, we've got people from everywhere. This is awesome. Florida, Tennessee, all over the place. Okay. So I know we had a lot of people RSVP from all over North America. That's one of the cool things. We've got people in Canada. We've got people on the West Coast, East Coast, all over the place. Very cool. Oh, so share with me. Go ahead and share with us what brings you here tonight. What are you hoping to get out of this workshop on self-care made simple? Do you consider yourself a wellness enthusiast? Maybe you're a goal-oriented achiever, self-improvement aficionado, or where are my Norwex lovers at, right? Norwex! Or maybe you're here because you're just ready for a change. Maybe you're struggling with chronic stress, burnout, negative thought patterns. Are you someone who has a hard time finding motivation to keep up with healthy habits? Or maybe you're just currently experiencing physical health challenges? Or are you someone who has a hard time sleeping? Or is feeling a sense of loneliness or maybe a lack of purpose in life? If you had asked me some of these questions a year ago, I would have checked every single box. Today, however, while I'm still the same person at my core, I'm also a very different person than I was. My life is exponentially better than it once was. I can absolutely and confidently say that I'm living my very best life. And I am ready to share with you exactly how I've been able to find a sense of balance, decrease my overwhelm, and increase my inner peace. So you know the saying, be kind, everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. I guarantee you, everyone watching or listening to this right now can nod their heads and immediately bring to mind their own challenges that maybe not everyone knows about. If you get nothing else from this workshop tonight, I hope you get this. If you're nodding your head and you've got battles that you're facing and the world does not know about right now, you are not alone. You're not. We're all fighting something. We are all overcoming something. And while your journey is uniquely yours, you're connected to others who understand hardship. And through this shared experience, there's a collective strength. So even when it feels like you're on your own, just remember that others are walking similar paths and you have the resilience to move forward together. So let that serve as a reminder that support and connection are always available, even if you don't always see them. Okay, so before I go any further, I realized I still need to introduce myself for anyone who doesn't already know me. My name is Christine Barnes. I'm a wellness enthusiast, a green and clean living advocate, and a Norwex independent consultant. This workshop tonight is one of a monthly series that in 2025, myself and 11 other Norwex leaders have put together for you. The intention is to bring you tons of value each month in 2025 to help make a positive impact on your lives and on the world. So please, if you find this valuable, share this event with the people you know and care about so it can make an impact on them too. And then mark your calendars for the second Monday of every month at the same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Each month, the theme will change, but the format will be the same. It'll be a different person sitting here instead of me. So, while we're at it, do me a favor and tag the Norwex consultant who invited you to this event in the comments, even if it's me. Let them know you're tuning in, and keep in mind that there's an incredible tips sheet available that goes along with this workshop. I'm going to be talking about it quite a bit tonight, and the person that you will get your tips sheet from is the person that you're tagging. Okay, so let them know you're here, let them know you're watching, and then remember to ask them for your tips sheet later because you're going to want it if you don't have it already. All right, let's get to the good stuff. What am I going to be sharing with you tonight? Okay, the things that I will be sharing could very well change your life. I told you already that I too struggled, and what I'm about to share is incredibly personal, and maybe a little bit triggering for some who have experienced the same things, but I'm choosing to share because I want you to know, again, that you're not alone if you struggle. And this workshop is all about trying to help us find a peaceful, calm, happy, joyful, well-balanced life. Okay? So, I grew up with generalized anxiety that got worse with age. I struggled with insecurities, body image. I would say that's pretty common in our society. Eventually that led to depression, self-harming, and even the beginnings of an eating disorder. In my 20s, I became a survivor of domestic abuse and even sexual abuse. I became a single mom. I went bankrupt. I was even on government assistance at one point, which was something that I did not feel very proud of. I had a great support system in my parents, so I was lucky that I could turn to them if I absolutely needed to, although I didn't turn to them probably as much as I should have. The point is I've been on a long journey to find peace, health, and happiness. I've done a lot of it by myself and with over a decade of counseling too, if I'm being fair, which I do highly recommend to everyone, whether you think you could benefit or not. Excuse me. I promise that you can. I imagine having a person you can tell everything to with no fear of judgment, no lasting impact on your relationship with them, just someone to hear you, to help you, and with your best interest in mind. So ultimately, I mean, that's what the majority of us want anyway, right? That's what we need, to be seen, to be heard, to feel validated. So that being said, aside from counseling, I've read numerous self-help and self-improvement books. I've listened to innumerable podcasts. I've lived, I've learned, I've made plenty of mistakes, and then here I am today with you, and I can positively say that I have evolved. And I have taken my lessons, and I've put them to work in order to find a sense of balance that works for me and can hopefully help guide you to find your sense of balance in life as well. So before I go any further, I just want to direct you to the free, one more time, electronics tips sheet that you can get from the consultant who invited you to this event. There's a few printable PDFs that you can access on the tips sheet that go right along with what I will be sharing tonight. This one right here is listed under the life balance guide. Okay, so when you go into the tip sheet, you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and it's called Life Balance Guide. This worksheet will track with the workshop. So I recommend either following this event tomorrow, later this week, whenever, print it, and then come back to this workshop to re-listen, and you can take notes on the specifics that I'm about to share, and that way you can pause and replay and jot things down, whatever you need to do. And, or you can print this worksheet following the workshop, and then fill it in with your personal experiences to see where you might need to adjust in order to find better balance in your life. Okay? Over there. Okay. Get on with it, Christine. Let's do this, right? All right, are you guys ready for my solution for a balanced life filled with joy, health, wellness, and peace? Peace is something that's so important to me, as I'm sure you can imagine. So here it is. Over the years, I've established 6 foundational pillars for my life. Now, the foundational pillars in building construction are vertical posts, and those posts transfer the weight of the structure to the ground. They play a crucial role in maintaining the integrity and stability of the structure. So in my personal life, my metaphorical foundational pillars play the same role. They play a crucial role in helping me to maintain stability and integrity in life. And when my pillars are well balanced, life feels good. And when I notice that life is starting to feel hard or overwhelming, and I analyze my pillars, I tend to notice that they're out of balance and they need rebalancing. Okay? So tonight, I want you to take my pillars and make them yours. You can keep them exactly as they are and use them as your own if you want. You can combine some of them. You can add to them. You can create even more pillars if you want to. Okay, so follow along with me and allow yourself to work it out as we go. Are you ready? Let me take a little drink to get ready for this. Okay, so the first of my foundational pillars is nourishment. This matters big time. What am I putting into my body? Or onto my body for that matter. Okay, we want to be intentional with our food, with our drinks, even with our personal care. If it has access to enter our bloodstream or other internal systems, then we should know exactly what is in it. Am I right? Yeah, do you agree? Tell us in the comments if you do. So when it comes to food, you want to choose whole foods, more vegetables, more fruits, fewer processed foods. Processed foods have ingredients in them like texturizers and stabilizers, and that is in there to help them last longer on shelves. These additives are harmful to our gut, and it can result in inflammation. Okay, and inflammation is a normal bodily process. It's how we fight off infection, purge toxins, and allow for our bodies to heal. However, if we're eating foods that negatively impact our gut health and then subsequently inflames the body chronically, then inflammation can harm you if it goes on for too long. You can experience things like fatigue, insomnia, joint pain, skin rashes, depression, anxiety, acid reflux, or even weight gain. Or even weight loss, sudden unexpected weight loss. And since this is Heart Month, I'd be remiss if I failed to mention that chronic inflammation could lead to heart disease. So if you think you're experiencing chronic inflammation, it is worth it to go see your PCP and maybe have some blood work done. I can tell you that my husband built our entire home himself, literally, and last year he suffered from total adrenal burnout. He had major inflammation. He basically struggled with every single symptom that I already listed, and it was super challenging time, like, for our family. We ended up going to see a naturopath who put him on a very strict diet to help turn things around. And do you know what that diet was? Basically all whole vegetables and fruits, lots of salmon and wild-caught fish, no carbs, no sugar, no dairy, because all of those things are inflammatory. So the biggest takeaway when it comes to nourishment for your body is to load up on your green leafy vegetables. But most of all, really a Mediterranean diet is all the rage right now to help reduce inflammation. So if you're looking for a few tasty recipes, we've got some included on our tips sheet that you can get from the consultant who invited you to this event. And these are heart-healthy recipes for February Heart Month. All right, here's something you might want to know about your veggies and other produce when you're shopping in the store. Either it's grown with pesticides or it's not. So something that's super interesting is that produce stickers are universal. So no matter where you go globally, they mean the same exact thing. So here's a little cheat sheet. You can see that. Right in the middle here, we have conventionally grown produce. Our PLU code is a 4-digit code, and it starts with 4. Okay, that is conventionally grown produce. And if it is conventionally grown, it means it was grown with pesticides. It means that there was pesticides used on it, which means it could have gotten into the fruit, and most definitely it is on the fruit or produce. The next one is over here. This is a 5-digit code starting, or I'm sorry, over here, a 5-digit code starting with 9. Okay, if you see a 5-digit code starting with 9, that means it's organic. It adheres to the standards for growing organic produce. This is what we want to be going for some of our produce, and I'll tell you about that in a second. And then finally, over here, we've got a 5-digit number that begins with 8. If it begins with 8, it means it is genetically modified and you should stay away from it. Okay? The only way to avoid pesticides and GMOs is to buy organic. Okay? So the Environmental Working Group is a nonprofit organization. They focus on empowering people with information so we can make informed decisions. And Norwex, by the way, is working closely with EWG in 2025 to bring you guys some of the cleanest and best products for you and your home. So make sure you ask your consultant more about that. Okay? And then you'll notice on some of our, like our skincare products, you'll notice on our essentials care list, you'll see this symbol. This just means EWG verified. That means it passes all of their standards for clean products, which is very rigorous. So you can look for that, not just on Norwex products, but any products really, if you want to find something that you know is not going to be harmful or have harmful chemicals in it. Okay? Now, I bring up EWG because EWG puts out a list every year highlighting what they call the dirty dozen. That basically means that there's types, or there's certain types of produce on the list that they recommend purchasing organic. Okay? That's because they're the dirtiest types of produce based on how the pesticides are applied or, you know, the farming technique, things like that. So they have not finished their 2025 list yet, but it will be out soon. So be sure to look that up later. EWG Dirty Dozen, okay, 2025. All right, now, here are some other hacks along with some very helpful tools. Ooh, here we go. To help you nourish your body. All right, so wash your produce, all of it. Rinsing your produce under running water is not enough. For your produce with hard rinds like squash or sweet potatoes or any produce that has a wax coating on it like apples or cucumbers, use a fruit and veggie scrub cloth. Now, I couldn't find one handy, but I did find my fruit and veggie scrub mitt, which is made out of the same material, which is abrasive, but not super abrasive that it'll hurt your produce, but it will help remove that wax coating and really scrub, you know, like your hard rind vegetables easily. Okay, so that's a great tool, great little hack to help you out there. And then also add in, this is our plant-based fresh produce wash. And this is going to cut through any residual pesticides. It's going to help keep your produce fresher for longer and has no aftertaste, which is something that I really love. We use this constantly in our home. I wash every bit of produce that comes into our house right when we come home from the grocery store. I prep it up, I cut it up, I put it into storage so it lasts. I try to set it up so it lasts the longest, because you know how produce, if you don't take care of it right away when you get it home, it's like rotten in a day. So what I do is after I wash it with this is I will lay it out on a kitchen towel, because our kitchen towel, you know, our microfiber is super absorbent. So I'll lay it out on a kitchen towel to dry before I store it. And then when I am prepping my produce, you want to make sure that you're using a high quality cutting board. Okay, our cutting boards are made of rice husks, which is totally sustainable and biodegradable. Plastic cutting boards can harbor bacteria and they're going to leave knife marks. You won't get knife marks on a cutting board like this, okay? So those with no knife marks, you've got nowhere for bacteria to hide. And so with other cutting boards like plastic cutting boards, if you're getting those knife marks, if you see knife marks on your plastic cutting boards, then it's pretty much certain that, you know, it's harboring bacteria, but also you might have been getting microplastics into your food. Okay? So if you get your hands on one of these, then you're going to love it, because they really are the best. Everyone loves them. You know, they've got a nice ring to hold them still. They've got a drip edge all the way around so it doesn't make a mess. A nice little hole here that you can hang it from inside a cabinet, you know, to save storage space, things like that. So that's a really handy product to have, you know, when you're trying to do things like eat healthier and eat more whole foods. Another tip that I have for you is to meal prep. Not only can it save you time in the long run, but you can make your meal decisions while you're of sound mind, right? So when I start to feel hungry, if I don't have an easy, healthy option, I'm quickly turning to less healthy options, or I have unreasonable portion control. You know what I mean? A few tools that can help a lot with meal prep include, I'm going to start here with our collapsible silicone food storage containers. So these are mine right from downstairs, right in our kitchen. I dug them out of the drawer. This one actually is our large one, and right now it has a block of cheese in it. I took it right out of my fridge. I said, where's the large one? Because we've got them all being used. So one of them had meat in it. I said, I can't bring that up here because that'll go bad while I'm doing my presentation. So this one has cheese in it. Works great. What's nice about these is that they actually have like this little vent here, so you can open it. You can take this right out if you want to. Again, they're going to collapse and they're going to save you tons of storage. They're BPA free, which matters. And like I said, they're space saving when you're not using them. And they're really going to keep your food fresh. We use them for everything in our house all the time. The next thing that I want to share with you is our food grade silicone storage bags. So these are brand new as of January. Okay, we've got 2 different sizes, and these are freezer safe, so they're perfect for meal prep. They've got a killer seal, so you're not going to spill or leak anything. Plus, they are even oven safe. Get that, up to 375 degrees. So if you need to take it out of the freezer into the oven, then you can do that, or toaster oven or microwave. You can do that. And then another fun option that I really like for when I don't have enough empty containers on hand are these stretchy silicone lids. Again, I just dug these out from downstairs. Now these are great, like I said, if you don't have enough storage containers on hand, then you can use, we've got all these different sizes. They're versatile. Let's see here. I'm going to put one, I brought a little cup up to show you. They work on bowls, they work on cups, they even work on square dishes. They're especially great for leftovers, so you don't need to use any plastic wrap or aluminum foil. So again, they work great. Okay, and then looks like I did throw in here a refrigerator drawer liner. I forgot to mention this. So refrigerator drawer liners are cool. We have this hack that we use with Norwex where we put one of these in the bottom of our produce drawer, and it's going to help absorb any moisture, and then that absorption of moisture makes it so your produce lasts even longer and stays fresh longer. A lot of people even take a counter cloth, which I don't have one right next to me now, but take a counter cloth and they'll put it in the bottom of maybe one of these food storage containers before they put their berries in it or something else to store it after they bring it home from the grocery store. Okay. And then this next one is actually more of a grocery shopping hack, but a few things I like to keep in my car for when I'm going to the store is basically just my reusable shopping bag, along with, more bags inside, and then some reusable produce bags, okay? These are big time. I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't mention these, because one of the most wasteful items that we use are the plastic produce bags from the grocery store. So think about it. We use them for a matter of minutes, seconds even, before it goes right into the trash in most homes. So these produce bags eliminate that waste, which is so much better for our planet. And I really do believe that small changes like that among many people can make a big impact. So, are you ready for foundational pillar number 2? So I said there's 6 of them. They will get faster as we go. We're going to whip right through these. My second foundational pillar is exercise. Okay, so in what ways am I moving my body? How much? How often? Did you know that when women hit 40 or begin to approach menopause, we experience significant changes inside of our bodies? Aside from the massive hormonal shifts, our metabolism decreases, we have decreased muscle mass, and even decreased bone density, which means we now have an increased risk for osteoporosis, which is considered a silent disease since quite often there's no symptoms until you break a bone. So, one of the most effective ways to combat this is with regular exercise. Exercise will naturally increase your metabolism, increase your muscle mass, strengthen your bones, support your joint health, and even help to balance your hormones. Okay, so what types of exercises should you be doing? Number one is strength training, particularly for women over 40. Strength training becomes exponentially important as we age. Number two, cardiovascular and aerobic exercises are also great. This could look like brisk walking, jogging, crushing that Zumba class at the gym, right? Cycling, swimming, dancing, or whatever you love that is fun for you. Okay, and then number three, it's important that we have some type of flexibility, mobility, stability exercises. This includes static stretching like a yin style yoga class and dynamic stretching like a yoga flow or a Pilates class. And the goal should be to exercise 4 to 5 days per week. So for me personally, I do all of my exercising at home because I live in the middle of farm country. But when I lived closer to civilization, I loved the community at the gym, and I really found ways to enjoy going every day. So now what I try to do is I walk briskly on the treadmill for 30 to 60 minutes every weekday morning. I do strength training 3 days a week. I follow, because I do it at home, I follow Sydney Cummings. She's a fitness influencer on YouTube. I love her. She really pushes, like, I have the weights, I do the dumbbells, I do the whole thing. And then I try to do static stretching at least 3 days a week and a power yoga flow at least 1 day a week. So if you followed all of that, then you might realize I try to actually work out 7 days a week. But the days that I'm walking and doing static stretching feels more like positive self-care than it does a workout, okay? But the days I'm lifting weights and doing my HIIT exercises, I'm breaking a sweat, which is also super important. Sweating is one of the ways that our bodies detox. Now, some of us might be a little self-conscious about sweating, or maybe we know someone who is. And why is that? My perspective is that we all sweat. No big deal. Sweating means our bodies are doing the things it's supposed to be doing. It's important that we're sweating regularly to help our body detox. So maybe it's the smell that comes along with the sweat that people get self-conscious about. Have you heard that there are 2 types of sweat? Facts. We've got common sweat and we've got stress sweat. Common sweat is what cools us on a hot day when we're being active, whereas stress sweat appears when we're extremely stressed. It comes from the roots of our hair in our armpits, our scalp, our groin area. It feels thick because it contains fat. Now, which smells worse then? Well, I'm about to blow your mind because it actually isn't the sweat that stinks. That's right, sweat does not actually smell on its own. What happens is that we each have bacteria unique to us on our skin, and that bacteria loves to eat organic materials in our sweat. And then the bacteria excrete digestive gases. Okay, so wrap your head around that. So if you were thinking that stress sweat smells worse, you were on the right track because our skin bacteria loves it some sweat stress and therefore has some smellier gases. Okay, so how can we combat body odor when we're trying to hit the gym? I have a couple of tips for you. Number one, get that bacteria off of your skin by regularly exfoliating. This can be done with a Norwex body cloth and water. Highly recommend keeping one of these in your gym bag or whatever bag you're bringing to and from camping, all that stuff. Okay, this is going to help clean you, physically lift and remove the sweat, the bacteria, all of it, and it's going to gently exfoliate too. Okay, I can't recommend these enough, but for the sake of time, we're going to move on. Number 2, get yourself a quality deodorant. Norwex has 2 great options. I only have one handy on me. The first one is a crystal deodorant, and then the other is a prebiotic deodorant, okay, to help you balance your pH. So check the tips sheet. The tips sheet is going to have more in-depth details about what makes each of our deodorants awesome, and it can help you decide which would be the best fit for you, okay? We are featuring our deodorants on the tip sheet. You want to look at it. Ask your consultant for the tip sheet. Finally, you'll also find a bentonite clay armpit mask detox, another mouthful recipe on the tips sheet. Okay, this is the bentonite clay I get it right off of Amazon. It's inexpensive on its own, and this tends to be used in your high-end spas as part of their treatments. It is a toxin magnet, and it will pull the impurities from your skin. So you can do it as a mask on your armpits. You can do it as a mask on your face. You can put it in your bath water. And the list goes on. Okay? Check this out on your tips sheet. All right, so before I move on to my next foundational pillar, I want to share a very quick hack with you to help you get your body moving. If you're someone who does not move their body often or with intention right now, that's okay. And the time or the answer to becoming active is not trying to dive head first into some sort of intense routine. Instead, anytime you're trying to start a new habit, start it with just 2 minutes a day. This is a proven strategy. 2 minutes a day, that's it. Okay, might sound crazy. Stay with me for a second. This is because our biggest obstacle isn't the exercise. Our biggest obstacle is showing up for ourselves consistently. 2 minutes a day is truly a bite-sized chunk that any of us could do. The trick is to start small and prove to yourself that you can show up for you and that you deserve to feel good. Once you start doing 2 minutes a day, it will naturally grow. You just need to get it started, and that's how you make it into an easy habit. Another tip is to give it a specific time and place. So I will walk on the treadmill in the basement every morning at 5:45 a.m. before I begin my morning chores. See how many details I put in there? In the base, I say where I'm going to do my walking. Every morning, I give it a time, 5:45 a.m. before I begin my morning chores, okay? Time and a place, very specific. And then, of course, if you make it enjoyable, something you like, so don't start running if you'd rather dance, okay? For me, I love reading. So I bring my Kindle downstairs every morning so I can read while I walk and then get my body awake for the day. I love it. It's one of my favorite parts of my morning routine. Okay. A couple other notable products for you when you're hitting the gym or getting your movement in includes our active towel. Okay, it's a big one. I love traveling with this towel. I take it with me anytime I travel anywhere for Norwex conference or anything else because when I go traveling, I like to keep my routine. I like to prove that I can continue showing up for myself even when I'm traveling. So I bring this with me. It's the size of a yoga mat. And it is big enough to cover a full bench. So if I'm going to the hotel gym, I can lay this on the bench so I don't need to lay in or on the floor. So I don't need to lay in dirt. I don't need to lay in someone else's sweat. Like, gross, right? And then we also have one just like this that is small size, and it's perfect for wetting it down and draping it around your neck as a cooling towel. So, of course, both of them have our signature backlock in them to inhibit any bacterial growth within the cloth, so that will help them to not get stinky when you're using them. And you can use them a few times before you need to launder them. So that is pretty cool. And then also we have our sport sign, okay? This is great for sports equipment that can get smelly over time. It's enzyme-based. You spray it, you leave it, it goes to work. Lots of hockey moms and soccer moms love this stuff. It does come with a sprayer. This is a brand new one, so keeping it brand new. Okay, and now let's move on to foundational pillar number 3. Okay, number 3 is sleep. Okay, are you giving your body time to rest and recover? It's essential that we're sleeping long enough each night for our bodies to cycle through the different stages of sleep in order to perform certain functions. So, for example, our brains need to flush toxins each night, which occurs primarily during deep sleep. Deep sleep is the stage that helps strengthen our immunity and repair our body. Deep sleep happens in the first half of the night and usually lasts 1 to 2 hours. Whereas REM sleep cycles multiple times throughout the night and helps with memory, learning, mood regulation, and mental concentration. So the average adult needs between 7 and 9 hours of sleep per night. And lack of sleep can be disastrous for our overall well-being. If anybody in here, are you someone who has a hard time sleeping, staying asleep, any of that? Okay, maybe you're experiencing some of these symptoms, but it can result in anxiety, depression, brain fog, trouble concentrating,
increased stress and irritability, reduced libido, hello, increased conflicts, and more. If you're someone who struggles with falling asleep or staying asleep, you're going to want to take a look at the tips sheet. Okay, we've got some great checklists on there. Once you get it from the consultant who invited you to this event, you'll have access to those checklists to help set yourself up for a successful and restful night of sleep, as well as some tips on creating a relaxing and restful environment in your room. Okay, so some of my personal tips that you won't find on the tip sheet include using a red light in your bedroom. Okay, it's said that red light can actually promote natural melatonin production, which will help you stay asleep. So we have actually changed all of our bedroom lamps in our home to red light bulbs. Very simple shift, and it is. I like it. I can feel a difference. When I stay off my phone and I use my red light and read a book and then go to sleep, I sleep well. I notice that when I'm on my phone, when I'm not supposed to be before bed, and I'm reading, scrolling, whatever, and then I put my phone down, because that blue light from your phone, even if you have the dimmer, blah, blah, that blue light from your phone is not good. It is not good for our brains. And I'll tell you, when I set the phone down after that, I can literally feel like, it feels like my eyes, my brain is like buzzing, you know? And I'm like, I can't sleep. So if I can tell the difference, okay? So I'm telling you, you know, the red lights help. Avoid the blue light. Put the phone down earlier than you think you need to. Another tip I have is to be consistent with your sleep schedule. Our bodies and brains love routine. They love optimizing our workload to make things efficient. So go to bed around the same time every night and then try to get up around the same time every morning. Okay, and now if you go ahead and take a look at our tip sheet and you say, I've tried everything, those things don't work for me, then I cannot recommend to you enough to participate in a sleep study if you haven't done it, okay? You are your own best advocate. Nobody knows your body and what you're feeling better than you do. So full disclosure, my husband asked for a sleep study after I insisted that he do, and his doctor said no. Okay, luckily, before my husband went into the doctor, I was very clear. I said, you are not allowed to leave that doctor's office until the doctor gives you a sleep study. Okay, and he shared that with his doctor, and he reluctantly agreed. Okay, now mind you, you can do these sleep studies at home. They ship you the kit, you sleep with it a few nights in your own bed. It's easy, it's painless. Okay, so now fast forward, my husband did the sleep study. Turns out, after his doctor was like, you don't need a sleep study, my husband had severe sleep apnea. Severe. He was getting, his oxygen levels at night were going so stinking low. He was only getting oxygen less than 50% of the night. It's insane. And now he has a CPAP machine, which again, it's painless, it's quiet, it doesn't disturb our sleep at all. In fact, it's actually greatly improved both of our sleep. He's getting the oxygen his body needs, and I get to sleep in silence. No more snoring. Okay, we're moving along here. Few products to share with you before we go on to the next pillar. Okay, so number one is mattress cleaner. This is enzyme based, and it's going to eradicate any organic matter that dust mites would feast on in your mattresses, rugs, upholstery, stuffed animals, curtains, anything like that. This matters because most humans are allergic to dust mite feces, and dust mites love living in places where we shed dead skin cells, like our mattress or our pillow. And sometimes that snoring that people are doing is a result of their allergy to dust mite feces. Okay, so if you spray this on, it eradicates everything they would feast on, and they go away too. All right, how about some self-purifying pillowcases? That sounds nice, right? So did you know that pillowcases are said to have 39 times as much bacteria as a pet bowl? Gross. So check our tips sheet to learn more about Norwex's luxurious self-purifying pillowcases. They are game changers. Okay? And I can't go on without sharing a few more of my favorite personal care products for bedtime too. One is our body balm. This is amazing for cracked heels and other places that you get dry skin, like knees, elbows. I actually use, this is my one, I took it from next to the kitchen sink. I use this as straight up chapstick. I know it's very large and in charge, but I love it. Okay. Another one is our detoxing night cream. Okay, detoxing night cream is incredibly creamy and nourishing for our skin. It detoxes your skin from daily pollutants, while it also helps to reduce fine lines and wrinkles. This is a must-have product, and I think I heard it was our top-selling skincare product because it's so good. Everybody loves it. And then lastly, if you've got achy muscles, our Rescue Gel is one of my favorite products to help release that tension, relax those muscles. You just roll it on, and the Rescue Gel does the rest. So sometimes I'll put it on my lower back before I go to bed. But this is great. It smells, it's got like kind of a menthol scent to it. It smells really calming and relaxing. And in the summertime, people will put it on like their pulse points to kind of cool them down. If you're someone who has hot flashes, you can put it on your pulse points to help cool your whole body down. Okay, moving on to our fourth foundational pillar, which is spirituality and reflection. Okay, so this can look different for everyone, but what matters most is that you have a deep connection within yourself or with your higher power. Okay, this could look like being in nature, practicing stillness, meditation, reflection. It could be time spent reading literature about living spiritually. It could be prayer, yoga, mindful breathing, or even journaling. So figure out what your values are and be intentional. Be sure your actions align with your values. Have self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Accept your imperfections. Maintain an openness to experiences on your spiritual journey. And be consistent. The more consistent, the deeper your spiritual connection. If you haven't ever journaled before, there's lots of guided journals out there filled with prompts to get you thinking. So journaling is a simple way to kind of unload some of those burdens that you're carrying in your mind or heart. It helps with emotional clarity, stress relief, increased self-discovery, and it'll boost creativity as well. And then get this, journaling can even help with sleep. Okay, so journaling, again, is one of those helpful things for reflection. It can help you get in tune with your spirituality, connect with your higher power, and then it can even help you sleep. So that's pretty nice. Okay, and my fifth foundational pillar is play. That's right, because a good balanced life includes fun. So what does this look like for you? Maybe you could journal about it to figure out what brings you joy. But seriously though, what are your hobbies? What is something that you can do while you're in it? And while you're doing it, you lose track of time. Okay? Have you ever noticed how when you're spending time laughing with friends, the time just flies by? Or for me, when I'm invested in a really good book, I can read for hours. My teenager, she's an artist. She can spend hours creating. It's fuel for her soul. So that's the question you need to ask yourself. What fuels your soul? What makes you feel more alive? If you reflect on this and you realize you aren't having enough fun in life, then this is something that should be changed immediately. Because we all deserve to do things that we love. We deserve to have an escape that can help us to fill our cups. So some ways that you can have more fun in life include joining clubs, trying something new, getting together with friends and family. I personally am a calendar person. I'm in charge of our family's calendar. And guess what? We schedule fun. Because if it's not in our calendar, it gets neglected. And if it's already on our calendar, then we can tell people that we're busy, knowing full well that it's intended to replenish our personal stores of energy, if you would. We schedule date nights, family adventures, days dedicated to just being home for replenishment, and then so much more. So we make fun a priority. And I schedule all the other foundational pillars in there too. If it's on your calendar, it's more likely to happen. Okay. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I don't even know where to begin having fun, I've got an idea for you. You could host a Norwex party. I mean, it's a great excuse to get together with your friends for some food, laughs, and maybe a little learning on how to live cleaner, better, and safer, right? So, and plus, if your wish list is growing through this workshop, there's no easier way to get all of your favorite products, some of which you could definitely earn for free with our hosting program. It's a win-win-win. So touch base with the consultant who invited you to this event and set something up. Lots of consultants right now are actually doing spa parties, which are so fun with a handful of your girlfriends. I would definitely ask about that too. Okay. And finally, The sixth foundational pillar that helps me achieve balance in life is having a mission. That's right. Something that is greater than yourself that you can invest yourself in. For some people, that might be their kids. I'm a homeschool mom. My kids are a huge driving force in my life that I'm super proud of. It does fuel my soul to be able to be my children's teacher. For others, it might be something for the greater good. Maybe you enjoy volunteering, visiting the elderly, making and serving food for the homeless, or maybe you're in healthcare and your greater purpose is to help the world become a healthier place. Okay? In order to figure out your purpose, try some thoughtful reflection, maybe some more journaling. Here are some questions to help you. Ready? What principles are most important to you and why? Because our purpose emerges from our reason for caring, okay? What activities bring you joy and energy? So how I was mentioning, like, fills your cup when I was talking about play. And what are you naturally good at? If you answer these questions, it should help carry you in the right direction to find a mission that you love or purpose that you are passionate about. And if you remember at the beginning of this workshop, I mentioned loneliness. Now, I have been a Norwex consultant for more than a decade, but for the first 5 years, I only used it for the discount. But then life changed. We moved. I left my teaching career, which at one point in time, that was my mission and passion. And suddenly I found myself feeling incredibly lonely. It was then that I needed a little extra income to bridge the gap in our budget, so I picked my Norwex business up off the shelf. But little did I know that not only was I about to find my next mission and purpose in life, but I was about to find the most incredible community I have ever been a part of. The women that I work with in this organization are simply awesome. We share the same mission to help families live cleaner, better, and safer by reducing their environmental toxins. And my personal mission is to help people live their very best lives for as long as possible. And I'll tell you right now, if you're looking for purpose or you're looking for community, then look no further. This community lifted me up when I truly needed it, and looking back, I wouldn't change a thing. It's actually quite simple to join our community of Norwex consultants. We have systems in place to support you as soon as you start your journey. And in this month right now, in February, we've got 2 starter kits. Both are designed to help you start a thriving business, and both are designed to have minimal financial investment in order to get you going. Our standard starter kit gives you all of the very best products in your hands for the price of just shipping. This includes our Safe Haven 5 set, a whole mop system, plus some body cloths and business supplies. There are very achievable sales goals that go along with that kit, and once you hit them, you keep the kit for free, which is amazing. The other kit that's available this month is $30 in the US and only $35 in Canada. There's no sales requirements to get started with this kit, and it comes with loads of samples. You'll get little enviro cloths, little window cloths, little body cloths, skincare samples. You're going to get a mini cleaning paste, and you'll even get some laundry detergent samples as well as some business supplies. This kit's a super bargain because you immediately have what you need to get started sharing products with friends and family right away. You can just pass these things out. All you have to do is get them in people's hands. And once they try them out, the products sell themselves. This is a zero risk kit. So if you get it and life happens, then no harm, no foul. You still have access to an incredible discount for yourself. Okay? All right, so that went long. What do you guys think? I've shared a boatload of information tonight in a relatively short amount of time. Just to recap and say one more time what my personal 6 foundational pillars are, and now they can be yours too. Nourishment, so food, water, what we put onto our skin and into our body. Exercise and movement. Sleep, rest and recovery. Spirituality and reflection. Play, and having a boatload of fun, and then having a mission and a purpose greater than myself. And I'm telling you, when all of my pillars are in balance, life is smooth. It is calm. It is peaceful. Like, that's what I want. I don't want overwhelm. I don't want stress. I don't want craziness. And when I start to feel that, I have to step back and look and say, okay, I missed my walk 2 days in a row. I can feel that I'm feeling off. And when I miss my walk, my days are not the same. Okay? It's very simple. And I really, we have to learn to listen to ourselves, not listen to the part of ourselves that wants to just sit on the couch and eat Doritos all day, but listen to the part of ourselves that cares about our wellness, that cares about living a long, healthy life and being able to move our body well into old age. That's the part that we need to hear. Okay, so will you take a moment to fill in the worksheet I shared with you earlier? I've set it over there. To see where the balance is in your life, and if you need to adjust it in any way to help you achieve a sense of inner peace, will you do that? Life is definitely about finding balance, which happens to also be my word of the year in 2025, balance. And so again, if you found this workshop helpful, valuable, please share it with others who could benefit from hearing it. Life is long, it's also short, and it's time for us to make wellness a priority because we deserve it. So thank you so much to everyone for your time and attention tonight. Thank you to anyone who's listening back to the replay. I'm so grateful that you joined me in sharing my foundational pillars, and I truly hope that this was a benefit to you. Please feel free to share your biggest takeaways in the comments, and if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask in the comments too, and I'll come right back through to answer them. I hope you have a beautiful night, a beautiful life. Remember that you are loved and you are not alone. And remember to ask the consultant who invited you to this event for that infamous tips sheet. And mark your calendar for the second Monday every month for the rest of the year to soak up the value, help you live cleaner, safer, and better. Thank you guys again. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful night, and we will see you soon. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.